YouTube, how the heck are you? Welcome back to another podcast episode here with the Glimpse Gang. This is episode number who knows what.
12, I think.
But as you can see, thank you, we are back on set. This is our first podcast on set, and I probably...
And last.
What? A month? Yeah, spoiler, and last. Maybe a month?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
It's been
3,
quite a
4
bit.
episodes.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, but we found the time to come on back. Hope you guys have been enjoying the virtual podcasts. I know they're not as great quality, but we're
Yes.
still troubleshooting that.
We're working on it.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know my mic sucks.
We're
I'm
figuring it out.
fixing it.
We are fixing all the problems, and we're going to go from there. But like as we said, it's also unfortunately our last one on
Yeah.
set as school is
For
ramping
now.
up
Don't
very
worry.
shortly. Yeah, so this is going to be our last one. This is the month of August 29th, the day you're watching this or listening to it on Spotify and iTunes. This is the last one before school starts, so we're going to be gone, moving to other things, different places. So we're not going to be able to do every podcast every week in person, but we'll probably go back to in-person podcasts coming in during winter break around
Yes.
that
Yeah,
era,
of course.
that time of the year. But as we talked about, school is coming back. What are our thoughts on and concerns going back into the school year? Keaton, I'll let you start.
Well, I go to school locally. I'm going for 2 years to get my associates, and so doing that in town, I do get to stay at home, which is really nice. So I don't gotta pack up and move anywhere. But otherwise, I mean, like school's school. You have COVID, which is still a semi-concern. So I'll have to see how the year goes, because I remember getting an email from like the school district, and them saying like, oh, you don't need to wear masks anymore,
It's like, oh, well,
whatever.
now you do.
And now, I got an email like 2 weeks back, and it's like, for all UW schools, all UW systems, you're going to have to wear a mask. If you are vaccinated or if you are not, you have to wear one on campus.
Yes.
So that was kind of a bummer that we're kind of going back to something like that. But at least more of my classes now are in person. So that's a good thing and a bad thing, just because in-person classes are really nice. You get to actually see people, which is good. But bad thing is classes are going to be harder. So
Yeah.
it's kind of what I'm
There's a
worried
lot
about.
less leeway when it comes to in-person
definitely.
classes. But I have a couple questions for you, Keaton. When it comes to like COVID-related stuff, do you, like you said, you do have to wear masks now?
Yeah.
Do you have to take, like, since you are vaccinated, I don't know, because you're not even like staying on campus. Do you have to do like weekly tests? Or
I do,
anything,
yes.
Even though you are vaccinated.
Yep.
Wow, because at Green Bay, I just sent them my information. Hey, I'm vaccinated. I don't have to take weekly tests.
We have to, if you are vaccinated or not. Doesn't
Wow.
matter which one you got to take them.
Okay, because I know I do need at Green Bay. We need to wear masks now, in public places. Yada yada yada. I exempted out of the test, which is going to be really nice, which I appreciate a ton. For those of you who don't know, I have said Green Bay multiple times now, but I am traveling up north to UW Green Bay for the fall semester and spring semester. I'm a major in communications. I'm not looking forward to the school part, because like I was at work last night, and I started getting that feeling of like the first day of third grade. Oh
Yeah.
shoot, we're back at school now.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody, and it's like that same anxious feeling never goes away. I have 2 classes in person. Those are both my communications courses, and then my other 3 are virtual lecture based courses. So they're not actually at a certain time; they're just whenever I want them to.
All
So
right.
that's going to be really cool, which I'm really looking forward to. I don't know if you have any work plans while you're at school, but I'm planning on working at the Packer Pro Shop or doing Packer tours of Lambeau. Not sure what I'm going to be able to get into. If I can do an internship around the realm of communications, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I got to talk to a couple people or message a few people just to see what I can get in, what I can't. But like I have a class on Monday and Wednesday at like noon, and then that's a different course on Thursdays at 2. So I'm planning on working in the mornings on Monday, Wednesday, and then Tuesday, Thursday I work at night, and then have my weekends free if I want to go visit Omni or come here if we
Yeah.
have a job to do or we need to film some videos. So that's my plan. Are you planning on working?
Well, with kind of how Glimpse went with, we did the county fair and we had a couple other gigs, I would hope that, stuff starts to kind of roll again, especially throughout, like holidays and stuff.
Right.
So that would hope to be my like main thing, because if I have like that, then with school, than anything personal I want to get done that would probably, fill up my time. But otherwise, I would probably get a job just local, either like Quick Trip because they pay good,
There you go.
or Fleet Farm because they pay good.
Gotcha.
But something like that.
Yeah, I know we just turned in the video for the county fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just in a realm of jobs for Glimpse, I guess we can talk about that a little bit later. Ryan, you were going to say something. We'll talk about it later.
So like the full-time spot of this conversation of like work, I'm just excited to see the TikToks of kids going back to school and like all people fighting and the stupid videos of like people throwing paper across the room at someone.
Yeah.
And I saw this one video recently of this kid going to what my assumption is to quote unquote spit game or to talk to some girls.
Oh,
And
wow.
He's walking from one side of the gymnasium to the other. I guess some person didn't like that he was walking up to her group of friends and got up and started chasing him.
Oh,
and it
no.
was just so
Oh,
funny
no.
looking. Because, like, this guy's potentially harmless just wanting to talk to these people, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden she just gets up, starts chasing.
There you go.
So
Never
I'm
can be
just excited
too
for those
careful.
TikToks.
But anyway, in the realm of jobs, you still got the full-time jobs.
Yes.
That's what you'll be doing coming into this fall. I guess we're going back to the realm of Green Bay. I did talk about I'm moving to Green Bay. I have 3 roommates that I've never talked to, have no contact with. It was
That's
randomized, so it is scary. I was thinking I get them like, move-in gifts. I think I'm the last one to move in too, so it's a little spooky in that sense. We'll play it by ear. Hopefully things turn out well. But staying in Green Bay, we're gonna talk about the Packers now. I'm repping the jersey as always.
We all 3 went to a pregame.
We did preseason
Yeah.
game last week. We probably saw it on. Did we post anything?
We didn't yet.
We did. So you have not seen it.
But make sure to check that out once it does go up on
Yeah.
our Instagram.
Yeah,
Look at that.
but, last week we went to the Jets game at Lambeau. Keaton's family has season tickets, so
They were really good seats, too.
Hoggers.
Yeah.
They were great seats. Saw some great plays, great views. Everything's a whole lot bigger when
After
you're actually there.
after 24 years, we have secured the tickets.
It's about time, right?
So yeah,
But yeah, the Packers unfortunately lost that game. But it was Ryan's first time at Lambeau, so we took
It
you
was
to the
really
pro
cool.
shop.
It was cool to see the pro shop, how big it was, and how many things were actually inside of the shop.
Right.
It seems like a huge building on the outside, and then as soon as you walk in, it's very open concept,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is crazy to see. The prices for water was kind of crazy.
$5
Yeah.
for,
Yeah,
for a
$5
bottle of water.
for a
that
bottle of water.
that to me doesn't make sense because I remember, like the maintenance crew for like Lambeau Field and like all that stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure it was not even too long ago, and I could be wrong about this because it's been like years since I've heard this. But like Lambeau has made enough money for them to be able to like repair anything that they wanted, make anything that they've wanted, keep up, utilities and all that, that they've like given back money.
That's crazy.
So then I don't understand why they don't just like knock down concessions and knock down like
It was
Right.
probably a personal vendor like option.
that. Yeah, that
That
could
could be
be.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Lambeau's like literally the most historical stadium in all of sports, or at least all of football. It's the oldest operated place, I think. And so I don't want to see that place ever torn down.
We could
Yeah.
feel how old it was by standing, waiting in
It wasn't
line.
that bad.
It was like you're standing in line, and Frankie
Oh, I
goes,
forgot about this.
"Yo, did the floor just move?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And
I
then
don't know if that's because it's old or if that's just a function of the stadium to keep it like up.
that-
I think it's that.
Skyscrapers will blow in the wind.
Yeah.
So
the feeling is so nerve wracking, and you're just standing there. I jumped, and Keen goes, "Oh, I felt that one." So, okay, dude.
yeah, so there was a good first half. Second half was kind of a dookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
But a great experience nonetheless.
I was thinking in my head like the first half, we had 2 touchdowns, and I mean, okay, like the fields at Lambeau Field is always amazing, and you have like the ritual and you got the chants and stuff, and then I just like not even just for us to win because it's a preseason game, who cares, and we're playing whoever out on the field, but I just wanted us to get another touchdown just so I could get up and stand on my feet and get crazy like one last time. But it was fine. I mean, we had 2. That was good too. So
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this the entire game. I'm a huge fan Probably a little OCD about things when it comes to the team.
Yeah.
But Matt LaFleur, our head coach, came out in a press conference and said things about like, I don't want to see the wave when we're on offense, or we should be a little quieter when we're on offense. These are things I was yelling to everybody around me the entire game we were
Yeah.
there, because it's not proper home team etiquette to do the wave.
People
be
are
that
probably
loud
just really
on
excited.
offense, right? And I think they don't care as much because it's a preseason game,
Right.
so they're gonna be a little more wild. But I just want to see that respect from the fans when we're on offense. Do all that when we're on defense. Just be mindful of that, because the more we are aware, the more we can help our team win. And like the wave is so distracting, it's a perfect thing to do when we're
Yeah.
on defense. So I don't know, but like as we said, the
Team
preseason
manipulation of the game.
exactly. Like just in the game today, we played the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and there was a penalty on us because they were so loud that our center couldn't hear the snap count,
Really?
and he didn't snap the ball, so there was a penalty for a delay of game.
Wow.
But unfortunately, we did lose again today. It makes us 0-3 in the preseason, winless for the first time in how many years? Somebody give me a guess.
12.
I
No.
have a number 27.
It's more.
Oh, I don't know.
The Packers have at least won a single game in the preseason since 1988. The last time they went winless was 1987.
Wow.
Jeez.
So do
Wow.
the math. I think that was like 34 years.
Yeah, about that.
But that's wild.
To
I
me-
hope that's just I hope it's not like a precursor for the actual season.
No, to me, that's no sweat off my back.
I feel that as well. Like it's
Yeah.
preseason, I don't care. But regardless of that, I've had a separate feeling where I'm like, yo, this season's gonna be sucky. Because last year I feel like was our year, and we botched it in the game, NFC Championship game. I don't know. It's my gut feeling.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Bucks start up very soon.
Yeah, go Bucks.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Right? I mean,
Let's go.
I love to see, every Wisconsin team do great.
Yeah.
The Packers is where my heart is. So
And I think that's a little funny, or not. I think it's a little thing to be observant of is like, football is starting up soon, like very, very soon now. And just like, we have a really good team, but it's always like a whim. It's like we could have an amazing team, but it might just not be the year. And it kind of sucks in that case. And even if like your team does really well, it's just like one game that just like knocks you completely out.
right.
And I mean, we have like Bucks coming up soon. We have Brewers who are doing really good. So it's just like we almost have this trifecta of like amazingness.
Is there a
Last-
professional golf team?
No, just individual players.
Hockey
like,
starts up
team.
soon.
Yeah. I know that Tampa Bay won every major sports championship in the country last year. The Bucks just won. What if we do it this year?
Yeah.
Brewers are doing well.
Brewers are doing well.
Packers just about to start up on September 12th.
Hmm.
We don't have a
Whole year
hockey
of
team, which is
Wisconsin.
mega
I'm
lame.
not saying anything, but I'm just saying. You know?
Yeah, that'd be monumental.
I
Whole year of Wisconsin wins.
Tampa Bay definitely cheated in the NHL, but that's fine.
Tampa
I
Bay
won't get
got some
into it.
Pretty scuffed calls
Mm.
in the Packer game.
See,
I will never heal from that because there are so many plays that if we would have done one thing,
Yeah.
the game would have gone the other way.
well, I'm
There's
just
so many
saying,
different plays that just one play would have changed it.
it seems a little too coincidental that they win all of these
I
championships,
don't know,
but
Tom Brady, man.
I mean, like, if you look at like that game versus the Packers, or you look at just like their hockey team in NHL, something sketchy is going on. I don't know.
Just to prove that I'm not healing from that still, I still think about this. After that game, so when it comes to Madden ratings, Madden football is the video game people play for football. Aaron Rodgers was a 96 before that game. Tom Brady, I think, was maybe a 95.
Mm.
After that game, Aaron Rodgers dropped 1 overall to 95, and Tom Brady went up 2 overalls to 97. But they won the game. But you compare Aaron Rodgers' stat line to Tom Brady's stat line. Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions, and they
Yeah.
bumped up his overall 2 places.
Well, okay.
What?
All like Madden ratings and all that, they're
Are
so
dookie.
botched.
They are.
They're
They
so
are.
bad.
I'm just saying, like, those little things just peeve me.
Yeah,
so
they're
badly.
very bad at rating just players. It happens in like any sports game where they
What's
try and
funny
do that.
too is like during loading screens in that game, they'll have a quote in the bottom of the screen is like, "This guy's so great at doing this," and the quote is just like from Madden ratings adjuster. It's like, oh, okay,
Sure,
thanks.
makes sense.
But yeah, as we said, preseason is done. On to the regular season. Go Pack, go! We're gonna head over to esports. Call of Duty League, our favorite esports cover.
Atlanta won.
Atlanta FaZe is your CDL 2021 champions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after the game finished, they showed like a preview of the actual Warzone stadium, having all of
Ooh.
the CDL like phase colors all around it now,
That's cool.
which I thought was pretty dope. That
That
they
is
changed
dope.
it the exact same time they won.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I can't say I didn't expect them to win because
Yeah.
they won 3 of the 5
really
major,
wanted the
major
sweep.
tournaments.
I watched some of the games. I really wish there was a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed for Thieves going out in the first round. I was disappointing for Optic. Thank goodness Envoy and Scump played though, because they were scared.
Oh, yeah.
Optic, or I mean, COVID scares. They might not be able to play, but they did. Fortunately, wasn't enough in the end. Who knows if Scump's even coming back to Call of Duty? This might be his last year.
I think it just depends how the beta goes.
Right. So
If
that
he
was-
doesn't like the beta, he's probably out.
Right, that was the next thing I wanted to talk about. Moving on from Shams, congratulations, Atlanta FaZe. We'll see how rosters shake up going into the new Call of Duty, which is Call of Duty Vanguard. And the alpha just came out yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
We have some thoughts on this new COD. Guys, let's talk about it.
All right. So I don't want to be dominant in this talk,
You will.
but I will, because I don't know. I like pubs. I like multiplayer. I like TDM and all that. And going like from game to game, you have like the whole list. You got MW2, the Black Ops 1, and you got all these other games, right?
Yeah. Sorry, there was a dead daddy long leg just sitting right by my mic
Wow.
stand, and I just was like, "Are you alive,
Yo, just
buddy?"
scoop them up.
No, he's dead. He's
Okay.
fine. Sorry.
Anywho,
But,
Call of Duty Vanguard.
Yeah, so you got don't flip them towards me.
I
you
was
go.
more likely towards Frank,
I
but
know where it went. I'm scared.
Yeah, same. But you have all these multiplayer games. You have what people think are like the legendary ones. You got MW2, Black Ops 1. You have Black Ops 2. You have all these great games. And now we're at a point where we had World War II before,
yes,
and now
which they look very similar. Like if you were to look back at World War II and Vanguard, they look very similar.
they do look similar. But I'll get into that. So we have, old World War II game. Then we had, what was it, Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
And Black Ops 4 I thought was a banging game.
It was pretty
I
good.
thought for multiplayer to be refreshed, it was no jetpacks still, but it was,
It was Black Ops 3
On the
without
ground.
jetpacks.
and it's still semi-futuristic.
It was just
That
reskin.
to me is
not even reskin.
Every Call of Duty is
No.
a reskin version.
yeah,
Well, fair,
essentially.
yeah.
But that to me was like a good point to go from. Then it was botched. Went to Modern Warfare 2019. That game sucks. Multiplayer wise, that game's trash.
No, it's not.
You
I
can't.
think it's the
you can't
players
tell
and
me-
how they manipulate the new
I agree.
patches.
It is,
No.
it is players rather than game.
You can't tell me every player from Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare 2019 is like, now I camp. Like
No,
that doesn't make sense.
It's new players. It's new players that manipulated the game. It's not old players.
But it's also the map sucked.
Some
Ghost is too bad.
I
No,
have to
not
agree with
maps.
them.
The
Some-
mini maps sucked.
Oh,
It was
okay.
the old. It's not the original mini map way where you shoot. There's red dots. It induces more camping because you can't tell where people are. Then you have no deady. You just have it as a poppable, which sucks. And then I mean the maps themselves, I didn't think were terrible, but they weren't like. They should honestly just bump the old maps into the new games because they're always better than what they produce.
I feel that too. Like, old games are better than the new ones, but I think that's just so sucky because there's no future. It's just
Right.
past stuff worked. Let's reincorporate that. Like,
Yeah, but,
there
like-
has to be a time where new stuff is implemented.
It's lame though when you have a game on launch that has crappy maps and then it's like, ooh, you want a little something good? Here, we'll sprinkle one good map to you. Ooh, have a little taste of that. Like, no, just drop the 12 maps that I want and you can make like 4 original out of those 12s. that's fine.
I honestly think like some of those maps that are on Modern Warfare 2019 are gonna be OGs in 10 years.
I don't doubt that some of them are decent, but in terms of like even just like competitive, they're not good. But
Some of them were huge, and spawns on that maps, on many maps, I'm thinking of like, specifically Azir Cave could spawn out so far.
Yeah.
that
You
map
have
sucks.
to run for a year. And Modern Warfare had huge maps.
There's also some other map where there was like the middle was like a bridge, and then you had like one section on the other side of the bridge was just like a whole little city.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
the other side
Well,
was
that
like a
that was a
broken
12v12
downtown.
map.
It's still like you
Yeah.
take like a good 2 minutes to get to the middle, and if you make it to the middle, you're gonna get sniped from somebody sitting in
A window
like
somewhere.
Yeah.
shitty town over here, and then just like you have to run another 2 minutes. And
Yeah.
But I mean, with all that said, like still Modern Warfare 2019, like the Ghost perk overpowered, and then you have stuff like EOD, like in such a weird spot in Tac Mask where it's like you should be able to rock them and not get hit by stuff, but because that game was so camping induced, people then would camp with them even harder,
Yeah.
and it wasn't used like the way it should be used. Like usually you in comp you'd have like a do with Tac Mask and EOD play the hard point, and like that's how it goes. But I think Modern Warfare 2019 was just so screwed in that way. And so then we went to Cold War, and I thought Cold War pubs were good, but because of the state of the popularity of Warzone, when you swap from Warzone to Cold War a ton, it was hard to play either game. And League play came out too late, but I still think the way that Cold War went is better than how Modern Warfare 2019 was. And so now we get to World War II again, but this
Vanguard.
one's Vanguard,
Yeah.
and it's made by Sledgehammer. And Sledgehammer, I have high hopes of what they can do because whatever
Their
stuff
last
that they
game
work
was
on,
World War II.
it was, and so that's why they're working on this one because this is kind of a rushed game. But I have high hopes of what they can do because they usually listen to the player base and do multiplayer games very well. So the alpha's out. I've watched gameplay of that. There's some guns that you could just go out online and check out and see of what's already in the game.
Right.
But in terms of mechanics, there's no mounting, which was in MW 2019, which I'm thankful for. The mounting that we can see at least in the alpha is just blind fire. So you'll mount on like a box or something, and you'll just shoot like hip fire, and you'll
Gotcha.
be less exposed.
And I was talking to Keaton on the way home or on the way here. Somebody posted a video of Vanguard campaign gameplay,
Oh.
and they were mounting on a piece of wood that you can look over. It's not like a wall that you can mount on. It's like he was mounting and he was moving while mounting,
Oh.
which Keaton made the point that that could just be a campaign mechanic, which if it is, please keep it in the campaign.
Yeah, I hope it is.
Do not put it in
'Cause
multiplayer,
I
please.
kind of remember that also happening in past campaigns where they had their own mechanics.
Absolutely.
So I
There's
hope
also
that's
climbing in campaign. Like you can climb like Assassin's Creed.
yeah. So I hope
That's
that's
crazy.
just campaign because if this game's mechanics is just like you have the mounting blind fire, which realistically won't be used a ton, which is how those mechanics should be.
We thought
Because
the same thing with mounting on Modern
no,
Warfare.
I knew mounting was going to be used. I knew I was never going to use mounting. I knew people camping would use mounting, and that's why that game was so camping induced. But blind fire, like you might see like a cool like, oh my gosh, this is COD champs. This guy does like a 1v3 and he blind fires the last dude. Something could happen, but I don't think it's going to be used a lot. So I'm 100% fine with those mechanics being a thing. Second case is like the breakable walls and windows and stuff like that.
Yeah, how extreme is that?
Well, so there's like windows and stuff that you like punch and they just instantly break down, and it's like it's not there the rest of the match, which I'm fine with just because it's almost just like a little feature, but it's not like game changing at
Yeah,
all.
broken windows happen in every COD almost.
And so, yeah, so to me that's fine. It makes sense. And then they have like breakable walls, which you can more so like wall bang, and then the more you wall bang them and shoot
The
through
more
them,
it'll
the
break.
more they break down.
I feel like there's also going to be like if they still keep the idea of those poppables where you have like dead silence or stopping power. I feel like they might implement one where they have like almost like Rainbow Six. You have like this deployable wall that you can just build up and like fix somebody's destructible wall that they broke.
It'd be cool if there'd be like a perk like that. It was like you called like Rager or something, and they're just like rage induced, and they can break.
They
through
could break
walls and
things
shoot
faster.
through 'em.
That's gonna be the thing. Like FMJ in this game might be like the play,
Yeah.
like shooting through walls and stuff. Like, because you couldn't really wall bang anything in Cold War. You could wall bang stuff in MW19. And so now if we're back to Cold War, or not to Cold War, if we're back to Vanguard and you can wall bang stuff, that might be the play is rocking like FMJ or just like any hard hitting bullet penetration gun. Just be able to
Right.
shoot through anything and just try and hit marker for info.
And the new COD graphics, watching the alpha, they look awesome.
oh yeah. So
And I love like just another graphics thing. The cinematics like for campaigns, they're much more Modern Warfare 2019 esque, where they're more like actually I said the word cinematic rather than video game like, which I think looks really good too.
yeah, like so Vanguard is on the Modern Warfare engine. So all that stuff, is going to be similar, and it's just so a lot of people are like kind of not liking the game already because it's on the same engine, but it's just like how they implement the features is how the game's actually going to feel. So like in terms of like slide canceling and stuff like that, they can still tweak all that. That's not tied to the engine, but in terms of like how the game feels, like that's going to feel like MW19. And so to me that's fine. So you can't drop shot in this game because if you drop shot you just hip fire. So unless you're drop shotting with like a shotgun, then you'll be fine. Unless there's an attachment like in Cold War where you have a grip, and that grip you can actually ADS while drop shotting. But if that's not the case, drop shotting's nerfed. It's most likely going to be a game of just like jump shotting and bunny hopping, which to me I'm more down with than drop shotting.
Me too.
So I think in terms of like the gameplay I've seen so far and like what they have scheduled for the game, I think it looks really good, even though it is still World War II and the game, like to some people might look bland and stuff. Just like put a filter on your game. If you're on PC, you'll be fine. Console, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I was
But-
gonna say hopefully you have an extra terabyte of space because this game is going to be 270 gigabytes on
Yeah, it's going
launch
to be
date,
huge.
Jeez.
which is half of a PlayStation's memory.
But
I don't know how they expect people on console to have that space.
I don't know.
Buy a PC forehead. Get
That's
a PC.
just so unfair. And then like on the main drops for like games initially, it's on PS4 or PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you were asking.
Yeah, we get beta first.
Like if
let's
you
go.
want to play beta, if you want to play alpha, go play PS5. But also, we're taking half your storage. Sorry.
Yeah.
What?
But I'm hoping just like they listen to some criticism that has been put out there. I hope I know they haven't. But like the attachment system, I would be 100% down to ditch that for multiplayer, but I know they're going to have it for another year at least just because it's tied with Warzone.
Yeah.
But
And
the
Warzone's gonna be on Vanguard as
Yes.
well. It's gonna be a new Warzone map.
Yeah.
different
3
things
games
like that.
in one.
It-
Like,
yeah.
It's gonna be terrifying.
But I hope field upgrades, I again wouldn't mind ditching those. I don't like
neither.
popping Daddy. I don't like having freaking laser bullets instead of your sad
stupid.
peanut bullets. So I would love for this year if they just somehow pulled a 180 under our nose and changed all that, or at least if then next year everybody's sick of it and then we get rid of attachment system and we get rid of field upgrades. And we do I don't even like pick 10, but I do pick 10 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
do
But
you guys know why the on drop it's going to be so many gigabytes to download?
Why is that?
I know that Modern Warfare, why it's so much gigabytes to download is because multiplayer maps, it's not just the multiplayer map that you're playing in. The outside is literally a whole town that is rendered,
Mm-hmm.
which is the main reason, like every time the new map comes in, it's probably going to be like 12 gigabytes to download.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many unnecessary buildings outside of the map that they could easily just put up a graphic of like a forest and it's
Mhm.
like, okay, well, here's your map. But now it's just they have a whole town and oh, here's the Eiffel Tower, here's a Ferris wheel.
like they don't have barriers anymore. Like I feel like in old Call of Duty maps, you just couldn't run outside the
Right.
map, but now you can. There's just like a countdown, like, oh, come back, or you're
Yeah.
gonna die. So I don't know, but like, yeah, we watched the alpha yesterday. The one big thing I didn't like was on the one of the guns. I think it's the Tommy gun. had a big drum mag.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It took off the entire lower third. If you're watching
You're
this,
talking
like,
about it on the
it's-
top?
no, like the drum that
was-
went down under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it took off the entire lower third of the screen. So if you're watching this, it's like this entire bit was a magazine, and it's like I can't see anything. So that's the one thing I hope they change. But like I said, we were watching yesterday. Keaton and I were also playing Warzone yesterday, and we had the most unfortunate thing happen to us.
Yeah, so on Warzone we've been playing Z League, and Z League is like tourneys, and so we get like pretty decent kills. We're in like Division 3 or 4 typically, which is
Pretty high
out of
up.
like 30 divisions sometimes. So we're pretty high up there, and so you got to drop like good kill games, and so. Just the past couple times we've had like third and second places and stuff, and we've had some times where like some people just straight up out point us
Right.
hard, and so we were trying to figure out like what's a good drop spot, because usually wherever we drop we might have the game where we win and get a lot of kills, but still not as good as like some like streamers out there you can think of, like Aiden or whoever that stream pro COD Warzone, and they just drop, maybe in better spots and get more kills off the rip. And,
Right.
They split, which I don't think we feel comfortable just like straight up splitting games. But we were just thinking, let's find a spot that we can drop that might be like our new normal.
Right. So I called. Let's go hospital because I saw Z-Laner and Doc go there a lot, and they'll play for the helicopter and get a bunch of helicopter kills. So I was like, Keaton, let's go for that play. So Keaton would land the helicopter all day, and would get out with like 4 kills each time.
Yeah. And so we landed there. I don't remember the exact start of the game. I think
I don't either.
I'm pretty sure we got the helicopter, got some kills with it. People were landing back. We killed them. Then I think our helicopter in that game blew up early, and then I think we just drove
We
out there.
rotated downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So point is, we rotated downtown, and then ended up like in, I think, farmland. But the best game Keaton and I have ever played together was like a 40 kill dub or win, and you had like 21 and I had 19,
Something like that.
and
yeah.
we won. So that was our best game. And we're getting like, it's been a great game at this point yesterday, and we're getting to the final circles. We're driving over to farmland or running over to farmland, and I'm looking at our scores, and I'm like at 16, Keaton's at 13, and there's still 30 people left, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
stay calm, let's do this. So we get to farmland, couple people around us, things are getting chaotic, we're taking fights, pushing things. Our final score was 17 and 16. So how many was that? I'm doing quick math. 32, 33.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
At
Yeah, it
33?
was like I either had 18 or I had 17, but it was like 33. I think it was 18. No, yeah, it was something like 33 kills. And Keaton unfortunately died, and I was proning outside this building, ready for the final guy to come out, and everything went black.
Yeah.
There was a storm outside, and both of our powers went out.
Like, let me break this down for you. We're at that point. We're at farmland, and there's this one like almost barn looking building. It's got like the top window and the bottom entrance.
Yep.
And so Frankie's going over there, and I'm
'Cause I
pushing
had gotten it
behind him.
down, so I pushed over.
Yeah, and so Frankie's going over. I think you downed a dude. Then you got downed.
Yeah, I
And
got down
then-
because the MP5 was nerfed and the horizontal recoil was horrible.
And so then I am, still like maybe 25 meters behind. I beam that dude. And then after beaming that guy, I had like my Krig, but I think your Bullfrog from
Okay.
earlier. And so I heard this dude on my left, like in the building, coming out the entrance, and I completely world star this guy, like with the Bullfrog. He had the first shots on me, but I just like kept jumping and shooting, and I destroyed that kid. And I'm like, sick. We just like did that, like, we're still both alive because you
Yup.
self-res.
Yup.
So I'm like, we're just gonna get out of here and go on the next team then. But then I hear like more footsteps, but I'm already low. My gun's out of ammo.
Yeah.
And then I see this person running at me. They start shooting me,
With a nail
and then
gun.
with a nail gun, and then black screen. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And then I realized power went out. This sucks.
Yeah, literally, it was
So-
the best game of our lives. could have been upwards to 50 elims and a dub, and life screwed us.
Yeah. So that
It was so disappointing.
tragic.
It was tragic. But yeah, Warzone hasn't been the greatest friend to us recently. I have gotten, I would think, did we dub one out or no?
We did.
Okay. So, I know Ryan has the game uninstalled.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, you want to talk about why?
Yeah, it's like the game at this point, I enjoy playing it at some points, but as of recently, it just hasn't gave the euphoria that it usually does.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
So it's like playing it, let's say 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, it was like, okay, yeah, I died, whatever, but I still want to play again. Now it's just like, and what the last time we all three played a tournament, it was just like I'm here, I'm playing it. Okay, I got 12 kills on to the next one, but it's like there's no euphoria of getting those kills to me anymore.
Yeah.
So it was just like after a huge rage happened, and at the end, it was just like, all right, I'm just gonna uninstall it so I can't play it.
I compare Warzone to golf. I recently got into golfing, and you'll play like your 9 or 18 holes, but I don't want to be done because they weren't my best. They weren't great because I'm just getting into it. I'm not the best, but I want to be better.
Mhm.
So, like, we'll get to the end of the night, stop playing, and I might not be having a good time anymore, but I still want to keep playing because I want to drop that big game. You know, I always have that want to have a good game. It just doesn't go away.
To me, Warzone is, if Warzone, like the way that game is, if it wasn't COD, I would not touch that game in my life.
Really.
The only reason why I play Warzone is because it's COD.
Mm-hmm.
And just because if I were to swap to Cold War right now, play Cold War pubs, there isn't like a task I really want to get done. And again, it's a different engine. And I'm not going back to Modern Warfare pubs. That's so sad to live in. And so then it's just like Warzone is just the way that is. And I only play it because it's COD. I would love to change so many things about that game. And I'm scared because I know definitely none of that is going to change in the next big update with Vanguard.
Absolutely. But I guess that concludes our COD talk for the day. Quite a lengthy one. But we're going to move on to the plans for the future with Glimpse. I know I mentioned something earlier that I saved for now. But yeah, we're talking about our plans for the fall/future within Glimpse. What I was going to say, it was related to the county fair, which we did a month ago. Keaton recently finished up their promotional video. You brought over all their footage and their pictures that we took that week. Dropped it off, and I guess you had the conversation, so run us through it.
Yeah, so I just had it all in the USB. I dropped off the video and all the extra footage that we didn't use. I just like labeled the folders like this is stuff we've already posted. So if they would post anything else, they can. And so I just talked to Kelly, the person that we've been talking to about it. Just dropped it off. Just gave her like the rundown about the video and stuff. And I said like I'll edit it up in any different way if you want me to. I can always just revise it.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, just like I thought the county fair went well. She asked me, how it went well for us because we had the booth at the same time. She wasn't able to talk to us about it as much because she's doing stuff the entire time throughout the county fair.
Right.
So we just kind of talked back and forth. And she said, you guys did great work. Hope to see you again next year. Kind of like left it off like that. So, that's kind of how it went. That's all. I thought it was a pretty good conversation overall.
Absolutely.
So.
There's a future for that then. Her saying that like she'd love to have us back, which is very cool. I'd love to go back. Obviously, some conversations need to be had if we do go back.
Yes.
But I know that's like one of the things we have lined up for next year possibly. And another thing we have lined up is like the high school and middle school musicals. They want promo videos and things like that. So there is a future for Glimpse yet, if we're not as busy now. Because most of our stuff is pretty much calmed down now.
Yeah.
But
ideally, those high school and middle school like films could be 2 to 3 in per school. So if it's like Badger, that could be 3 films that they would want, and then high school maybe
and
like 3 films.
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunity there. And Mr. Shaleski, who's a teacher at Badger Middle School, has media club, and I've definitely talked with him about like coming in and helping out and things like that because he says that like what we do on YouTube is a lot what he wants to do with the club, which I think is really exciting. So if there's interest there, we'd love to be involved. but yeah, that's pretty much our plans for the fall. I think we did talk about how we're having the podcast virtually every week.
Yeah.
We're kind of banging out some videos today that'll be spread out sporadically throughout the fall. A lot of the fall videos are going to be virtual videos.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that. Kind of a quick heads up. And if there's time for us to come home and film one, we'll absolutely do it. We're not quite sure what's in the works yet, but
Yeah.
we're
And
flexible.
once we hit December, we'll have break off of, college again and school. So then during that winter break, we'll definitely do some more in-person videos. And then during that time, we'll have in-person podcasts again. So
Absolutely.
Right.
it's just from this stretch of like September to beginning of December, we'll have the virtual podcast, which will be ironed out and it will be like up to the same performance of what you see here. Especially if you listen on Spotify and iTunes, you're not even going to realize the difference of us
Right.
not being in the same room doing it together.
Yep.
And our online videos, we're going to make sure to mix those up so it's like fresh stuff. And then we'll have some in-person ones plopped here and around. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, we definitely got a plan. We definitely want to make sure, we're providing you with like good stuff and it's not just produced just so that way you guys can see it.
For
So
sure.
Don't
For
worry
sure.
about it.
Yep. So that's going to complete our Glimpse Fall Future Talk. Ryan, hit us with a quick 5-minute fun topic to conclude this week's
okay.
podcast.
So, if everybody's got belly buttons, hopefully,
jeez.
Now, if you're Kyle XY, if you know what that show is, then
Right,
you're
right.
an
I don't know
OG.
if I'm comfortable exposing that fact or not.
Okay, well, let's assume that everybody has a belly button.
Okay.
If your belly button is an actual button, right, and you can make that button do whatever you would want it to, what would you make that button do? Personally, I would want this button to like be my theme music as I walk into a room, just like, hey, what's up, everybody? Boop. Da 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 da. You know? I think that'd be super funny just to have my own
my-
theme music.
My button, boop, instant abs.
And then you can turn them
Boom.
off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yo,
like,
you
oh,
know
winter
what?
time.
Yo, I need some warmth. There it is. But no, instant abs. That's my button.
That's your bone. Oh gosh. Oh,
Yo, give me money, $500. Boop. You know what I'm saying?
trying to make mine.
Instant millionaire.
Yeah.
I pressed that many times.
Yeah, you could do that, and then if you ever dip below, then just click it
Yeah,
again. That's not bad.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Okay. This would have to be limited, but click the belly button, right? It turns into I turn into a different animal. Then I
He's
click.
a human
Longhorn
transformer.
sheep.
I then
He's a human transformer.
yeah, and then I click the belly button again, turn back.
There
Click
you
it
go.
again, turn to
So
whatever.
you're like
fun.
Beast Boy from Teen Titans.
There you go.
That'd be fun. I have a fun story about a button.
Yeah?
This is kind of a shot at Tostitos tortilla chips.
Mm.
I don't know how this happened, but my girlfriend Amini, I bought a Packer-themed bag of Tostitos tortilla chips. She's
Are they
finishing
green and
green and yellow.
Okay.
Not the chips.
Oh.
Just the bag.
I've seen chips.
I believe that too.
uh,
But she's reaching in, getting the last little crumbs, finishing up the bag, puts it in her mouth, and she bites down. She's like, "That's not a chip." Spits it out. There is a red button, like a
Oh.
clothing button, in her hand.
Did you like email them?
No, but I don't know how a button got in a bag of tortilla chips. Could it be our fault? Yeah, the bag was open, but I don't know who was digging in there with like red buttons.
Yeah.
Like, how did that
Especially if it's at the
happen?
bottom of the bag.
Exactly.
You could have emailed them and got some sort of compensation for it.
Yo,
Because
free
like
bags for life,
I,
please.
there was a person.
Sponsorship.
There was an actual person that opened up a regular box of Cheez-Its
Mhm.
and found a toasty one in there and said, hey, there's a extra toasty Cheez-It in my normal Cheez-It box. And then this gave the Cheez-It brand the idea of making toasty Cheez-Its. So they
Oh.
compensated this person for finding this Cheez-It, and then they made a whole different flavor from it.
Yo, compensate me for making bag of buttons with your chip
Yeah.
flavor.
It's amazing. I
Please.
love that flavor.
That I
Wait, you made that flavor?
I did.
That's
I'm
banging.
a button guy.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for listening and tuning into this week's podcast, either on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube with visuals. We really appreciate it. Make sure to check out our weekly Wednesday content coming out at 4:30 on YouTube. As you know, Podcast comes out at 7 o'clock on SpyTunes.
Spy
That's
Tunes.
kinda cool. I kind of like SpyTunes.
Spotify and iTunes. 4:30, like our Wednesday content on YouTube with visuals. Check those out. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Drop some comments on our Instagram, anywhere to talk with us. We love to hear your input.
Yeah.
Thanks for
True,
tuning
true.
in. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great week. See you later.
Goodbye.